Hi, my name is Melanie Schwazi. I am the Program Development Manager here at the St. Development Fund. SMDF is the executing authority of the SSRP income and unemployment support programs. And in this presentation, I will be going through exactly what you need to do to qualify and apply for the income and unemployment support programs. Here we have a little outline of the items that we will be discussing. What is the SSRP? How do these particular programs differ from payroll support program? The application criteria. I'm also going to touch on the new accounts and login feature that we have implemented to better serve all of our applicants. Important tips on applying. Submitting a complete application. So we're going to go through a quick video on how to submit an application in the new feature. I'm also going to touch on objections in the case of a denial. And last but not least, I'll answer some frequently asked questions and remind everyone of any particular important points as it pertains to the unemployment and income support programs. So what is the SSRP? Okay, so there are a few legs of the SSRP program. The first and one that a lot of people are very aware of is the Business Payroll Support Program. So the payroll support program is essentially to support businesses that are facing revenue losses due to the COVID-19 pandemic and to assist those businesses in preventing the layoff of their employees. The payroll support program is executed by Social and Health Insurance's SZV. But the part of the SSRP that I will be discussing today is the unemployment support program, which is to support individuals who have lost employment due to the COVID-19 pandemic. It is executed by us here at the St. Martin Development Fund, where we process the applications. And the support amount for approved applicants is 1,150 guilders. The other leg of the program is the sole proprietor, also known as the income support program. So the income support program is to support sole proprietors, taxi, bus drivers, tour bus drivers, as well as vendors who have experienced over 20% loss of income due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Similarly, it's executed here at the SMDF with the same support amount of 1,150 guilders for the month that you have applied. So in this slide, I will be going through the criteria and the required documents that an applicant will need to qualify and apply for unemployment support. First and foremost, a very important item is your identification. So all applicants must submit a clear copy of their St. Martin issued ID, their driver's license, or their Dutch passport. The IDs can be expired no more than 6 months. So from the day that you apply, if your ID is expired plus or minus 6 months, then you can still apply for the program with that ID. A letter of termination. So the letter of termination from your former employer must be on a company letterhead and include a stamp signed by the employer. The letter must indicate job loss due to COVID-19 pandemic. This is a very important point, that the letter must state somewhere in it that you lost your job because of the COVID-19 pandemic. And additionally, the dismissal date must be after March 15th, 2020. So if you happen to have lost your job or were terminated from your place of employment in February or on March 10th, unfortunately, you would not qualify to apply for the unemployment support program. But in the event that that is your situation, I would recommend that you reach out to the Department of Social Services to see if you can get any assistance there. And the last piece of required documents for unemployment support is your last payslip. So the applicant must submit a copy of their last payslip that corresponds with the date of dismissal on the dismissal letter. The payslip must be printed from an official payroll system. So for instance, Payroll Pro, Payroll for SXM, I believe there are a few others. And this is a requirement for the unemployment support. So if you are missing any of these 3 items, try your best to get a hold of them so that you may apply. Income support. So here on this slide, you will see the criteria and required documents for the income support program. Similarly to the unemployment support, you will need your identification, clear copy of your St. issued ID, driver's license, or Dutch passport. Again, the IDs can be expired by no more than 6 months. If you are a sole proprietor, also known as a one-man business, eenmanszaak, you will need to submit a copy of your Chamber of Commerce registration excerpt. It's important to note that the applicant cannot have any employees nor be part of a payroll themselves. And the excerpt can also be expired no more than 6 months. The Chamber of Commerce has been making it very easy to acquire your Chamber of Commerce excerpt. You just have to visit their website or reach them by phone, and they can make the provisions for you to obtain your Chamber of Commerce excerpt. If you are a public vendor or a transportation provider, such as a taxi, a bus, or tour bus driver, you will need to submit a copy of your permit, also known as your license. This document, it is very essential that a clear copy is provided to us. We have noticed that there are a lot of these licenses that are very old. So it is very important that we can clearly see all of the aspects of the license. Valid permits can also be expired no more than 6 months. So this is just for, again, this is just for transportation providers and public vendors. So taxi driver, bus drivers don't usually have Chamber of Commerce registrations, so they do not have to submit a Chamber of Commerce excerpt, rather just their permit/license. And lastly, this one goes for all, so both sole proprietors, public vendors, and transportation providers. You will need to submit the income tax return. So applicants must submit a copy of their 2018 or 2019 income tax return that is stamped by the tax department and signed by your person. However, very important to note is that as of September 1st, only the 2019 income tax return will be accepted. So it is very important that if you haven't filed your 2019 income taxes yet, that you do so as soon as possible if you intend on applying for the income support program that will run through October of this year. Okay, so this is very important to all applicants who intend on applying for the first time, as well as those who have already applied to the program. Adjustments have been made to the process, and so this applies to any of you that have previously applied and were approved, and those who have applied after June 30th. You all will need to follow this new process in order to qualify and apply for this second, let's call it second piece of the SSRP income support and unemployment programs. So the first piece covered the months of April, May, and June. But this second piece will cover July, August, September, and October. And it is essential that every applicant, whether in unemployment support program or income support program, reapplies every month before the designated deadline, which I will get to shortly. What exactly has changed? All applicants must create an account. So something that we learned from after the first time around was that applicants really wanted to know the status of their application, of course, because there was a good amount of backlog in the applications, and we really tried to accommodate this request by requiring that all applicants create an account via the SSRP website under the required support, so unemployment or income support. And then you have the ability now to log into this account and see the status. So if you are missing some documents, or if your application has been designated as complete, you will be able to log in and check up on that yourself. So this is a completely new feature, and all applicants must do so moving forward. All applicants must apply each month. So I'm going to go through now the deadlines for the next few months of SSRP unemployment and income support. And as I mentioned, it is very important that all applicants reapply each month. This was not the case in the first part of the SSRP as it relates to unemployment support, but now it is across the board. Every applicant must reapply each month. So the deadline for both the month of July and August is this Saturday, August 22nd. The form will be closed at 11:59 p.m. So you have all of this week, all of Saturday, to put forth your application. But after 11:59 p.m., the application for July and August will be closed. And then for the following months of September and October, the deadlines will be on the 15th of those months. Also, the application forms will be closed for that month, corresponding month, at 11:59 p.m. So as you can see, September 15th is the deadline for September. October 15th is the deadline for October. And lastly, something that we have been trying to change for the better is that the funds for the corresponding month will be dispersed during the last week of that month. So SMDF will be dispersing the 1,150 guilders to all approved applicants during the last week of the corresponding month to their personal bank accounts. Some important tips for applying for the income and unemployment support programs. The first one is that you want to use a friendly browser, especially if you are applying from a computer. The best browsers to use are Google Chrome, Firefox, and Microsoft Edge. Safari should be avoided, whether you're using a computer, a laptop, or an iPad. Try your best to use one of those preferred browsers. But in the event that you are not using a computer or a laptop, the form is completely accessible via mobile, your phone, or tablet. It's very mobile friendly, so you can, of course, apply in that fashion. Attachments. Each upload can only accept one file, and the acceptable formats are JPEG, JPG, PDF, and PNG files. What I mean by each upload can only accept one file is that, say for instance, your dismissal letter is more than one page, you will not have the ability to upload 2 pages that are in 2 separate files. So you want to make sure that your dismissal letter or whatever documents that are more than one page are stitched into one file. There are some online free services that can help you with that, or somebody that's a little bit more tech savvy can maybe assist you if that is the case for your situation. The third important tip, and this is a very, very important tip, is to check your email and check your junk and spam folders as much as possible. We typically correspond via email if you are missing any documents to let you know that you were approved or denied, or any other item. We email from our email address, which is ssrp@smdf.sx. So if you're worried that anything from us is going to land in your junk or spam folder and that you might not see it, maybe you should go ahead and add this email to your address book as soon as possible. But if all else fails, just make sure that you check the spam and junk mail folders frequently. And lastly, if you need any assistance, you can contact us via WhatsApp. We have a WhatsApp number. It's listed right over here, which is 554-9764. Or of course, you can email us, as I mentioned, at ssrp@smdf.sx. Right now, in-person assistance is quite limited at the moment. Normally, there is a help desk which is manned by the Department of Social Services over at the government building that can assist with in-person applications. However, the Department of Social Assistance is currently closed at the moment, so it is quite essential that you try your best to submit your applications online. We are aware that there are many people that are maybe not so tech savvy, so if you have somebody in your household, you know, a son or a daughter, or a niece or a nephew, someone close to you that is well versed in doing things online, then I would suggest that you reach out to them so that they can help you with applying. So in this slide, I'm going to be doing a quick video demo of how to apply with the new application process on the ssrp.sx website. This was done from a phone, so we are showing you that it can be easily done with a mobile device. So I'm just going to talk over it while the video goes. So if you can direct your attention to the video. Here we go. The first thing that you're going to do is surf to ssrp.sx. And then you will choose either sole proprietor support or unemployment support. In this case, we're going to do an income support application. You scroll down until you see a red button that says complete online form. And then you're going to click sign up here. Then you're going to choose your request type, income support, and then you're going to enter your Ssrp ID card number. This is very important because your ID card number will be your username. You're going to enter a password, confirm that password is correct by re-entering it. Same with your email. This is very important that you use a valid active email address, and we're asking you to type it in twice because we have seen some typos in the past and we weren't able to reach people that easily. Additionally, we ask for your phone number, preferably a direct line that we can reach you on in the event that we need to speak to you in person. I would also suggest to provide an alternative phone number as well. Then you go ahead and enter your first and last name, your date of birth, and all of this has to correspond, of course, with your identification card. You choose your gender, your place of birth, so some of us who are born in St. Martin will have to scroll all the way down to S. Your country of citizenship. This is typically where your passport has been issued. And then you have to enter your home address. After this, you will enter your crib number. We know that sometimes people enter the crib number with the full stops, but please avoid using the full stops here. You will enter your marital status, the number of dependents in your household, and then your profession. You will let us know if you are registered at the Chamber of Commerce and include your Chamber of Commerce number. And then you will go ahead and answer the questions that you have lost 20% or more of your income and that you are the direct source of income in your house. You will then choose your bank, and there's also an option if you do not have a bank account in your name. You will enter your bank account number. This is also very important that you can ensure that it is correct, as well as the currency of the account. Then finally, you have the ability to upload or take photos of the attachments that you will include with your application. You will check the two check boxes and of course read them. And then you can sign your application and click the blue button, which says Submit Request. So that is essentially the quick and easy process to create an account. And essentially you're creating an account and applying at the same time by providing all of the documents. I would definitely suggest that you complete this application as completely as you can. Basically, I'm saying to include as many documents as you can. You know, try not to leave anything out because that will only hamper or delay the processing of your application further. Something that I want to point out is, again, the ID number. As I mentioned, the ID number this time around is very important because this is the number that you will be using to sign into your account, to log back in and check your status. And in the event that you need to speak to us, this will be an easy way for us to see exactly where the account that corresponds to your application. So here on the left, we have a St. Martin ID card. And for lots of us, there's the ID card number and there's the resident permit number. The one in green is your ID number. This is the one that you will be using. You will not be using your permanent residence number if this applies to you. Of course, if you're not a permanent resident, then this will be the only number on your card. If you will be using your driver's license, again, there are also two numbers on this ID. This here, the number up top, under the little courthouse, is the ID number. And this is your driver's license number. Again, in green, this is the one we want to use. This is the one that we will not be using. Applicants who receive a denial of their application may object in writing to this denial by sending an email address to the objections committee. The email is ssrp.objections@stmartingov.org. So any denial will be handled by the objection committee, who will hear your case and receive your dossier if you are denied, and they will review and communicate with you further. SMDF does not have anything really to do with the objections, so it is essential that if you do not agree with the decision that was made, that you go ahead and reach out to the objections committee. And that brings us to the end of our presentation. I will just go ahead and answer any frequently asked questions that I know we get asked a lot. Really what we have a lot of are people coming to us with their specific labor disputes as it pertains to their termination letter. So for instance, my employer is giving me a hard time getting my termination letter, but I am not working. Those type of disputes or issues, SMDF unfortunately cannot answer, so we direct you to the Department of Labor and Social Services. They have a Facebook page where I'm sure you can find a number or an email or even maybe a direct message to the page and get some insight on the next steps that you should take. This is a very important point, and I would urge you that if you are experiencing any disputes, that you reach out to the Department of Labor and Social Services. Again, our contact information, we are available via WhatsApp. Our WhatsApp number is 554-9764. You can send a WhatsApp to that number, and you can also email us at ssrp@smdf.sx. And lastly, I will just go back to the deadlines. The deadlines for the months of July and August, so essentially you will be applying for those 2 months together, is this Saturday, August 22nd, 2020 at 11:59 p.m. will be the last minute that the application is open. So I would definitely suggest that you don't wait until the last moment to apply in case you experience any technical difficulties or something like that with your form. So definitely give yourself enough time and apply as early as you can. September, the deadline will be September 15th, 2020. October, the deadline will be October 15th, 2020. And I'm sure that there will be some publicity surrounding these deadlines as they approach every month. So I hope to have answered any questions that you may have had regarding the SSRP income support and unemployment programs. And I thank you very much for your time and appreciate you taking the time out to listen to this presentation and explanation. Again, if you have any questions whatsoever, go ahead and shoot us an email or a WhatsApp, and we are available to you. Have a good day.
For all relevant updates and information, please visit the official website at www.ssrp.sx.